You're in the middle of explaining something that bothered you, and right as you start to get your point across, they say, "You're being too sensitive." And for a moment, everything pauses, because now you're not sure what to do with that. You were trying to talk about what happened, but now it feels like the focus just shifted. And for a second, you lose your train of thought. You may recognize the moment when the conversation starts to move away from what you originally brought up, and you may notice yourself trying to bring it back, trying to explain it more clearly, or soften how you're saying it, just so it can be understood. But something about the conversation already feels different. Over time, this can start to feel mentally tiring, and it can leave you wondering why things never feel fully resolved. What often happens here is subtle. The moment you bring up a concern, the response shifts attention away from what was said to how you're reacting. So instead of staying with the situation, the conversation starts to center around your sensitivity. And now you're responding to that instead of finishing what you were trying to say. This can begin to change the direction of the conversation. It moves from what happened to whether your reaction is valid. And as that shift continues, the interaction starts to center around their perspective instead of the original concern. You may notice that you're not fully able to finish what you're trying to say because the focus keeps getting redirected. For them, this can become useful because what this often does is change how the interaction is experienced. The focus moves away from the concern and toward how the conversation feels. So instead of staying with what happened, the attention shifts to your reaction. And over time, this can make it harder for the original issue to stay at the center of the conversation. Some people describe this as a narcissistic communication pattern when it happens repeatedly. If this happens once, it may be a misunderstanding. But when it repeats, a pattern can begin to form. In healthy conversations, both people stay with the original concern long enough to understand it, even if emotions are involved. Many people respond to this by trying harder, explaining more, adjusting their tone, hoping the conversation will return to what they meant. Recognizing this can bring clarity, because it helps explain why things haven't been resolving, and why the conversation often feels like it shifts away from you. If this helped put words to your experience, like the video and subscribe to the channel. This channel exists to help you recognize narcissistic and manipulative patterns calmly, clearly, and without blame, so you can understand what's happening and trust yourself again. And when conversations unfold this way, another pattern often begins to form. In the next video, we're going to explain why they dismiss what you're saying in the moment during conflict, and how that pattern keeps the conversation from resolving. Click here to watch.